Hey, good morning, guys. So this is what we're going to discuss this morning. We got Roku, AMC, Hood, Spy, AMD, Tesla, and of course, Bitcoin. So starting off, let's go with the index spiders and see how we're looking this morning. So it looks like we're trying to retest, 441 again. This has been a little strong resistance stronghold right now, 441. So let's take a look at the bands. All right, so we can see the resistance on the NESI. We can see there's a support building as well at 440.17. So kind of take a mental note of that number today. The bands, you can definitely see we've been just cruising up in this channel for a while. Okay, and I mean, let's just be honest with you, guys. When this thing is gonna crash, it's really gonna drop because see, there was a little bit of saving face right here. It was still very, very, very small range, right, with the price. But as we've just gotten greedy and greedy and greedy, it's the drop is gonna be even more significant. So hold on to your horse, hold on to your butts. You never know. It could happen today. It could happen, 3 months from now. But always be prepared and stuff. Don't put too much money that you can afford to lose if something significant like this happens. Of course, in Omnitech, we always try to get you at a lower positional, entry, so you don't have to worry about as much as the noise. So, anyways, the SPY levels that I'm looking at, and forgive me right now, this is a new laptop, so yeah, the SPY levels I'm looking at here is obviously that 441. uh, I think we can definitely knock it through. There is definitely some levels that are showing on the omni bands that give us a nice little room for 443, and then 444. Now I've been telling the guys in the group probably about 450 is where I'm really seeing SPY trying to go to. Um, there's going to be some turbulence though because it's already very, very overbought, and that's just kind of the name of the game. So resistance at 441, need a hold at 440.17 today. If we do break that support, there's a little VWAP, right? This is kind of the momentum right here, kind of moving. It's not as strong. Um, Hopefully it stays really close to the candles, price candles. I know it's kind of small, but 435 is what I was telling the guys. We did bump down to 436. That's fair enough, I guess, for SPY. So yeah, again, it might run in this channel if we can break through 441. That's a key number to especially for a lot of your long entries. The index. We'd like to find things moving faster than the index. Of course, we're going to make more money, but regardless, it's still very important that we need to get over this 441, 440, 450. There you go. It's right there. That's what we're looking at. That, and it's really odd too. There was like a small little drop, pullback right through here, at the 414, and it did kind of reject in that same deviation level. I know it's hard to see just through here. You can kind of see that there's that small deviation level right through there, and that's kind of what we're testing right now. 441 is key. All right, and I'm going to stop talking about it. So let's go Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin, you know, just doing Bitcoin, right? Like, it's obviously looking a little more sellish. You just never know with this damn thing because it can think it's going to go all the way down to normal levels, which obviously normal levels, in the safe zone right here is at 35,000. So that's what I want to see. And oddly enough, 435, 35 is whatever kind of number right now. And maybe we will see that. Maybe we'll see 435 for SPY, and 35,000 for Bitcoin. So it's always a possibility. Now, so let's just see what the Nestie's saying. Of course, Nestie's definitely saying bearish on that chart on the 2 minute. you can definitely see that 38 or 39,000 was a pretty big significant level, and it failed. So let's see, the lowest low, we're talking 37,000. Of course, that's what we're looking at. So I would say even around 37, 38,000. If it breaks that, just be prepared for that 36. See if there's going to be a drop. I don't think. I think it's going to keep going. If it can't hold these levels right here, and if for whatever reason, if Bitcoin decides it wants to keep going up, all right, fine. Let's look. Yeah, see, it does look like they're trying to push this sell, but this thing could also whip back up as well. I've seen that happen too, in these little movements with the bands. So 39,000 to me is like, if we can break back over that, the next level would be 40,000, right? And we might run into some resistance. Uh, the big support here, 33,000. The highest resistance is 44,000. That's what I'm seeing right now. So that could change today. So let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's been just cruising. Now it's hitting a little bit of resistance. You can see with the Omni bands, guys. You can see how fast we can just get through these stocks. We don't have to really, look at them all day. So make your eyes bleed. So basically, you can just see the some of the key levels here. You had the 719 is kind of what it's looks like. It's having a little resistance issue at 719, and that's almost dead even with the 721 range right here. So we can definitely say 720 over 721. Then we can start seeing the new highs of 734, and then if we want to get really crazy, 749. So support, I don't trust VWAPs. I have a VWAP on there because I like to see what the rest of the market's doing, but that's just not something that I like really rely on for like supports and resistance. So I see a support here at 705. Let's see if we can get confirmation with Nessie. Nessie's also showing 701. See, it's even smarter. 715. That's what the stronghold is right now. See, this is the key thing with Nessie is you want to pay attention where that line renders, because that's obviously an area that is going to be some more noise, volatility, whatever you want to call it, through this level anytime it renders longer. So this is a short render right here. We'd like to see a longer render to get a confirmation on support. Of course, it's moving with SPY. So, if SPY is kind of going back and forth right now, that's probably what we're seeing. But, I would definitely say there is definitely some room for both sides. You see 743 on the lower right chart, and then you see the bottom low is down to 668. Hopefully we don't see that this week, and you guys are gonna kill it in your options calls. So, but yeah, you can always look out longer. The thing with Tesla is their premiums get super expensive. So, you know, um, it's just one of those things. If you didn't catch the bottom, it sucks. You kind of wait for those pullbacks and then try to get back in, or maybe you can find some cheaper premiums as we get to the end of the week, which is today. This is probably my favorite day to trade options, so definitely something to look at. All right, AMD. AMD, got a couple guys in the group that have been kind of looking at it. I've already kind of stood clear from that when there was a clear rejection at saying to Nessie at 122, clear as day. So definitely not a good entry if you were buying up in this 119 120 zone. I'm sorry for you. So where do we see Nessie at AMD at right now? Well, it still has a little bit of momentum. Um, and if it wants to push back up, great. Let's just look at some supports, though. We do see a little bit of the bands now, kind of, the longer bands moving down a little bit. It broke all my old supports, so that's just fantastic. So maybe it wants to stay in the 100 range, and you can actually see the lower green bands is at 103. Great. So that just tells me it's still in an uptrend. So we can rely, on bullish calls, as long as we can get down lower. And I like cheap stuff, personally. So 113.70, that would probably be my level I'd be looking at today to probably get a re-entry on AMD. If it does want to continue up, you're going to be paying high for this premium. So, that's just something, food for thought. So maybe if you want to, you can throw some shares in there, keep some limits. Again, 115 showing up on the deviations. I don't really see any significance on the bounces, though. You can see there's no bounces, no clear bounces on the deviations at all. Little bit here, again, 116, 115. It's really rocky through here. They would really have to get some strong buyers to push this up for that new high at 123. So again, you can see this looks a little better. It's kind of been right in this deviation through here. It looks like there's a little bit of resistance now, and that's what I've been talking about. So if it does decide that it wants to drop, we could see, like I said, 115 would be your stronghold, or 113 maybe a new entry, and then you could, maybe look for, lower high, and it might not hit to this week, it might be next week. So, or it could just keep correcting and going down. So, the Nessie always shows where those big tops are. It's super important to pay attention to it. There's a reason why it renders that way. So, don't ignore it. Obviously, it could also retest and break through, but it's also, something to think about. This thing's been moving for a while now, since last week. There might need a little cool down. All right, that's just how it works. So, really, really close to that top deviation as well. Do we have any evidence that it gets rejected through here? Okay, so there is a little bit of rejection through this deviation, this area. All right, so hood's brand new, so I'm not going to have a lot of data. You can see the band's not even rendering that good. That's just that's normal. So yeah, it's just better when you have more data on these things, because less data, you're kind of playing a risky trade. So, but Nessie will give us a little information, so let's check it out. So what's cool about this Trend Momentum down here, this is just join the group. You join the group, even if you get basic, I hook you up with some community algos that I have. These are fantastic. You can definitely see how they ride the trends and stuff, and they let you get out at a more a conservative time, right? Not necessarily at the top. Sometimes it's a little after the top, but they're already assuming that you rode this trend all the way up. So again, they're assuming you're riding this trend up with Robinhood, and it's still in an uptrend. We see a little bit of resistance here at 72. All right, that's noted. We can even see it on the lower bands. But this is a squeeze. When squeezes happen, that's when you usually see a bigger pop. So where do we see a next pop? 76 bucks. $76. If we break over that, man, this thing's going to go crazy. It's going to go up to like $85, $90. So hold on to your butts with this one. It could be a crazy ride. Now, let's go back to realistically. This is your support here at 66. We break that, get rid of this thing. All right, it's probably going to keep dropping. Next support here is at 58. That's going to be the test. All right, that's as much information I can give you on Robinhood right now. Your key support here is at 58. High resistance 75. You making big money at 86 bucks. All right, AMC. I don't even know why I like bringing up crap like this, but hey, when things get into the lower green bands, I got to talk about it. So this thing definitely dropped. It's unfortunate, but that's just how things work. So when you're in the green bands, this is a safer play. It is. It really is. But what's really cool about the Nessie, guys, listen, you can see that it is trying to get a new trend going. Okay, that's awesome. So we have a little support here. If we can hold above at 29.17, right? That's prominent. Why is it saying 29.17? Whatever. So we got some buyers right now. They're here. Okay. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I don't know what's acting weird. Anyway, $30. That was where the drop happened. Okay, it could not hold at 30. So if we can get past 30, which is obviously around that little VWAP area, maybe they'll push it up back up to 32. So this is one of those ones you probably want to scale in, right? You don't want to put a lot because there's still a little bit of downtrend going on on the bands. You can see that. So we've been going through a downtrend, right? You can definitely see that. So if the price does break at this 28, 28 whatever range, then the next level is going to be 26. See, that's not good. I like looking at the 10 minutes, see if there's any continuation or if we're seeing a reversal. This is where I'm seeing the reversal here, the 17 to 26, 27. If it wants to drop a little bit more, that would be the key area. Then you can see the really big drops, and we don't want to see that for AMC, especially if we're still holding it. I got into it at like $9. I sold it at 30. I was happy with that. But some people, they're bag holding that, right? That's just how it is. Anyways, you see some max numbers, some min numbers. So our min numbers 26, 39, and we got 47. You can go to a 30-minute, you might get a little more information. Oof. All right, 14. There you go. If you're so this is a pretty prominent area, 27.98. Mark it down, boys. If this thing breaks right here, it's really gonna drop. $14, man. Maybe that's your time to buy AMC, right? That doesn't mean that AMC is just gonna keep dying, and it's not. Look, it even has earnings coming up. So hey, when is that earnings? Is it next week? Yeah, so next week, hey, there you go. Maybe it's going to have this nasty little drop here. We can just predict it right now. It's going to have a nasty little drop. This is where we want to buy. Or it's just going to keep fuddling around this area and break range and then earnings, and then it drops down to 14. Ugh, I hate when there's earnings around it because you just never know what's going to happen, right? It's so random, even if it's a good earnings. Take, for instance, Corsair. I'm in that one. It had a great earnings, and it dropped anyways. But, Corsair is super low, super cheap. So why not, right? I'll throw some money at it. It's just a little bit of shares, dude. Look, sometimes getting into some of these trades, if you're not comfortable with doing like options, just do shares. If it's in the green bands, it's gonna go up, right? The probability is super high. It's 80% chance it's gonna go up. So it's definitely on your side on that one. Roku, right? Roku. Roku's a fast mover, man. I like Roku, right? You gotta be super careful with it though. It's really great for options. You can make a ton of money at the end of the week too. It looks like it had a good earnings. Well, why wouldn't it, right? Everybody watching TV these days. So Roku, looks like there's a little bit of resistance here at 390.56. We break above that, you can see levels at 407. All the way up max is 463 on this chart. Let's just look at realistically what we're at for scalping range today. We're in the green, boys. We're in the green bands. Now, this thing could consolidate a little bit more. I would definitely wait for a little pop here at 389. But look, see, I'm not sure what's all going on because it's kind of biased with the bands, right? Because the bands are wavy and stuff. But let's check out what's Nessie saying. All right, Nessie, look, more discreet, more important, right? Just shut up, Thomas. Talk about the charts. All right, I will. So 382.84. There you go. That's your support. That thing breaks. The thing's gonna go. Let's see, 382. Let me see what that's on. Yeah, so that is a key level. Down. I got 359 down there too. So like I said, Roku's a mover, man. Roku could drop all the way down to 359, bounce back up, and then be at 384 by lunch. It's just how Roku moves, man. It's quick. So you definitely see on the momentum there is a little bit of a downtrend going on still. So be careful with this one, guys. I would just kind of wait to see what it's going to do. If it's still hanging up in the low bands, it's definitely a good time to get into it. Just let me just throw that disclaimer. Unless it breaks, I would say 378 today, right? 378 today. If it breaks 378, then we're probably going to see 359. So if it can hold this, you might make some pretty strong money on this. So, anyways, this is what I got for the day. You guys can save this, screenshot it, whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you tomorrow.